What if the Bible's teachings have been simplified to serve specific interests, rather than reflecting the story of a single all-powerful God? The term Elohim in the Scriptures, traditionally viewed as a singular God, may actually refer to a collective of powerful beings influencing human history. This raises the question of why this more complex truth has been obscured, possibly to maintain control over the narrative. Scholars challenging traditional interpretations suggest that the Bible, far from being a divine revelation, may have been manipulated as a tool of power. The strategic manipulation of translation. The history of translation in religious texts is not merely a process of rendering words from one language to another, but a profound act that shapes beliefs, cultures, and the very course of civilization. In the case of the biblical translation, a critical shift occurred that altered the fundamental understanding of the divine. Why, for example, was the plural term Elohim intentionally translated into the singular form God? This was not an innocent mistake, but a deliberate choice that set the foundation for monotheism as we know it today. By collapsing the plurality of divine figures into one singular entity, translators paved the way for a new, simplified conception of God that would serve as the cornerstone of an emerging political and religious order. Furthermore, the concept of Yahweh as the supreme God of the Old Testament is a product of this translation process. In its original Hebrew context, Yahweh could have been seen more as a title or a reference to one among many powerful beings, rather than the singular, exclusive deity we now associate with the term. This transformation of Yahweh into a unique and omnipotent figure was pivotal. The original, more complex narrative, one where divine power was distributed among various beings, was replaced with a singular, all-encompassing force. This alteration not only reshaped how we understand divine authority, but also how we relate to the world and our place within it. The political context behind biblical reinterpretation. The translation of sacred texts is, of course, influenced by the political realities of the time. The 4th century was marked by the rise of Constantine, whose vision for the Roman Empire extended beyond mere governance to the realm of spirituality. Constantine's desire to unify his diverse and sprawling empire found a crucial ally in Christianity, which, with its monotheistic leanings, presented an ideal tool for consolidating power. The question, then, was how to transform a fragmented religious landscape, one filled with various gods and conflicting beliefs, into a singular, unified system. By reinterpreting divine plurality as singularity, Constantine and his allies in the Church were able to create a streamlined and more easily controlled narrative. The shift from Elohim to a singular God and the elevation of Yahweh as a supreme isolated figure were not mere accidents of language, but strategic moves designed to reshape the empire's spiritual foundation. In doing so, Constantine not only simplified the complex polytheistic beliefs that had existed, but also reinforced the authority of the emperor as the earthly representative of this singular divine power. This new, centralized religious system would become an essential part of the emperor's vision for unity, eliminating the potential challenges posed by a more pluralistic understanding of the divine. The Council of Nicaea and the establishment of monotheism. The decisions made at the First Council of Nicaea, convened in 325 AD by Emperor Constantine, were not simply theological, they were deeply political. The council marked a defining moment in the establishment of Christianity as a monotheistic religion. It was here that the concept of the Trinity was solidified, and a singular understanding of God was firmly enshrined. The complexities and nuances of the original Hebrew texts, which spoke of divine plurality, were cast aside in favor of a unified and authoritative narrative that could serve the interests of the empire. This was not just about religious dogma, it was about power. Constantine understood that a singular unified faith would be a powerful tool for maintaining control over the vast and diverse Roman Empire. By eliminating the concept of multiple divine beings, he created a singular, absolute God around whom the empire could rally. This move was as much a political maneuver as it was a theological one. The resulting narrative of monotheism became the glue that bound together the disparate peoples of the empire, allowing Constantine to consolidate his rule and create a more unified society. Control, power, and the Church's role. As the centuries passed, the changes made to the biblical texts began to take on a life of their own, becoming the accepted version of religious truth. The original complexities of the Hebrew Scriptures were buried under layers of translation and reinterpretation, leaving modern Christianity with a version of faith that, while powerful, may have lost sight of its deeper, more mysterious origins. Could it be that these texts still hold secrets, truths that were deliberately obscured in the pursuit of power and control? Perhaps the time has come for these truths to be revealed. What if the true nature of the divine, as it was originally understood, was far more complex and far-reaching than we have been taught? The forbidden knowledge surrounding the name of Jesus and the wisdom hidden within these ancient texts may be the key to unlocking a deeper understanding of our place in the universe. What if these revelations, long kept from us, are now poised to emerge and transform the way we perceive faith in the divine? As we stand on the brink of this discovery, it may be time to reconsider everything we thought we knew about the history of religion and the power dynamics that have shaped it. The political strategy of Constantine. The consolidation of Christianity under Emperor Constantine was more than a religious transformation. It was a masterstroke of political strategy. Constantine, in his quest to secure and stabilize his empire, recognized the profound impact that a unified religious system could have on maintaining order. By adopting a singular God as the central tenet of Christianity, he was not only simplifying the religious landscape, but also aligning the divine with the emperor's absolute authority. A singular God represented ultimate power, an omnipotent, indivisible force whose authority surpassed even that of the emperor. This singular vision of divinity became a tool for securing political control. To question God was to challenge the political structure itself, and in doing so to undermine the very foundation of imperial power. Constantine knew that by aligning the church with the state, he could ensure that the religious system would act as an instrument for unity, mediating between the divine and the people. The church, now tasked with interpreting the will of God, became the bridge between the emperor's will and the populace. It was a brilliant political maneuver that solidified Constantine's rule while simultaneously forging a unified identity for the Roman Empire. Elohim and Anunnaki, an intriguing connection. The parallel between the Elohim of the Bible and the Anunnaki of Sumerian mythology is one that sparks curiosity and intrigue. Both mythologies depict divine beings descending from the heavens, interacting with humanity, and playing crucial roles in shaping its destiny. The Anunnaki, regarded in Sumerian belief as gods from another world, are said to have imparted advanced knowledge and technologies to humanity, shaping early civilizations. Similarly, the Elohim in the Bible are described not only as creators, but as active governors, overseeing human affairs and intervening in key moments of history. This striking similarity between the two traditions raises questions about the shared nature of their stories. While some view the Elohim and the Anunnaki as purely mythical, others argue that these narratives point to a common origin. Some theorists, particularly in the field of ancient astronaut theory, suggest that these figures might represent ancient encounters with extraterrestrial beings. The advanced knowledge these beings are said to have brought to humanity whether in the form of technology, agriculture, or building techniques, could be interpreted as evidence of extraterrestrial involvement in the early stages of human civilization. Revisiting ancient narrative. If we accept the possibility that these ancient stories might describe real encounters with otherworldly beings, then the phrase "in his image" from the book of Genesis takes on an entirely new meaning. Rather than simply referring to God's likeness, it could imply that the Elohim engaged in genetic manipulation, altering the DNA of early humans to create a more advanced species. The idea that humanity was created through extraterrestrial intervention begins to align with the global myths and legends that describe gods descending from the heavens and shaping humanity. Such narratives are not confined to the Bible or Sumerian texts. Across the world, cultures tell stories of divine beings who bring knowledge and power to humanity, from the Egyptian gods who taught the arts of civilization to the deities worshipped by indigenous peoples in the Americas. These tales often describe beings who possess extraordinary powers that go beyond natural human abilities. These deities are frequently credited with feats such as controlling the elements, manipulating the weather, and constructing monumental structures with advanced precision. The parallels between these stories suggest that they may be more than just symbolic. They could represent a shared experience of interaction with beings far beyond our understanding. A new perspective on ancient history. The emerging theory that ancient civilizations may have been influenced by extraterrestrial beings forces us to reconsider how we view human history. If these stories are not merely myths, but accounts of real encounters with advanced beings, they would redefine the way we understand the development of human society. The rapid rise of complex civilizations from seemingly primitive origins could be explained by direct intervention. These extraterrestrial beings may have played an active role in shaping the course of history, providing humans with the tools, knowledge, and technologies that accelerated their evolution. The construction of monumental structures, such as the pyramids, the advanced astronomical knowledge of the Maya, or the intricate engineering feats of ancient cultures could all point to an external influence. These civilizations may have been part of a broader experiment in which humanity was guided, either intentionally or unintentionally, by beings with a vested interest in the development of our species. The leaps in knowledge and technological advancements that seemingly appeared overnight could be the result of direct extraterrestrial assistance, helping to propel humanity forward and form the foundation for the societies we recognize today. The legacy of the Elohim's influence is not only present in ancient structures, but also in modern society. Despite their absence, the control system they may have established continues to shape human societies. Governments and religious institutions perpetuate hierarchical models that demand conformity, reflecting the long-lasting impact of these ancient powers. As we examine these historical influences, it raises the question, to what extent has our worldview and spirituality been shaped by these forces? If the narratives about the Elohim reflect a control system established millennia ago, what does that say about the institutions we follow today? Reflecting on these ancient structures of dominance helps us recognize the power of transformation that comes from asking the right questions. The search for truth requires the courage to explore beyond appearances and to examine what lies behind the stories that have shaped our civilization. By understanding the impact of these influences, we can begin a journey toward a more authentic and independent potential, free from the cycles of control imposed in the past. So, we've explored together some fresh perspectives on the influence of ancient forces on the modern world. If you find this video interesting and want to learn more about other fascinating topics, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any videos from the channel. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next videos.